What's up, party people? Welcome to this tutorial where I will be showing you how to open your hips from a chair, bowspring style. So please have yourself a chair, and I'm going to invite you to grab a couple of pillows. And I did have two here for the tutorial, but this guy totally jumped in last minute and took this one. So I'm gonna grab one more just because I wanna demo this for you. So depending on how tight your hips are, the more pillows you're gonna grab, okay? If your hips aren't really tight, then you won't have to grab two pillows. Probably one will work just fine. So, in this series, I've been talking with you about how to really offer your body more freedom through opening your hips and really widening back and opening the pelvic floor. So this is connected to the natural curves of the spine, and that's what the Bowspring is all about, staying connected to these inherent curves and moving inside of them. So that's what it is that I'll be showing you here. So for this tutorial, you're gonna grab your chair and you're gonna take a seat. And notice when I take a seat that my hips are a little bit higher than my knees. That's good news. That's what it is that you want to look for. So do a little assessment. And if your hips are higher than your knees and your hips are still really tight, that's when you're going to be like Princess and the Pea, and you're going to give yourself a gift of another pillow, and you're going to sit on it. We want to make sure that you feel really grounded and secure on your seat, so you don't want to be slipping off. If that's the case, then readjust your pillows, readjust the way that you're sitting. And then first things first, so I'm going to ditch this pillow because it doesn't really work for me. First things first, you're going to pull out your butt. So we don't want to sit under the butt or on top of the butt. We want to sit more under it. So grab your butt cheeks and pull them wide, and then take another seat so you're sitting more under it rather than on top of it. It's going in that upward direction that offers our body and our mind so much freedom. Notice that I'm stepped to the front half of the chair. My hips aren't all the way to the back of the chair. They're to the first half. And let's just take a moment with the feet under the knees or slightly stepped back of the knees and your hands resting on your thighs, and offer your body and your mind a beautiful deep breath through your nose. Use your breath to inflate the ribs as they move in an upward position, and then soften your belly. Walk your feet a little closer together, and then place your left ankle on your right knee. And take your left hand to the outside of your left knee and your right hand to your foot. You're just gonna lift the ribs here. Now, this might be so sensational for some of you out there with really tight hips. Like, this might be enough. Or if you notice that you're having a really difficult time crossing it and you go into this rounded C curve, then try elevating your hips a little bit more. We want to avoid being in this C curve, but if you are in the C curve with your hips elevated and that's where you are because you have really tight hips, then that's just where you're gonna be for now. As you open them, things will change. So with the left hand again at the outside of the right knee, the right hand to the foot. For my people who are not accessing a lot of sensation here, the way that we're gonna deepen it is we're gonna fill the ribs. And notice as you fill the ribs, you're not just protruding the chest forward, it's the ribs lifting as a whole unit, front, back, side to side, in an upward position. Now, soften your belly forward and kind of feel your lower back. It has a hollowed curve here, and the hips are widening sweetly to the back of the chair. Now, slowly, if you're looking for more sensation, you're going to lean your ribs forward, but keep your belly long as you pull your ribs forward using your hands at your knee and at your foot. Now, as you keep the belly long and the ribs forward, the hips back, notice that I don't really have to go very deep to get I'm not going really far down, right? I don't really care how far down you can go. I just want you to stop at that point where it feels really sensational. Offer your body another deep breath through your nose, maybe even closing your eyes. And then open your eyes if they're closed, and notice again that we're not dropping the belly. and then moving the ribs forward. We keep the belly long, connected to the natural curves, and then move the ribs forward. Ribs forward, butt back and wide. Slowly lift and lower and just feel into that. Whoa, so sensational. And if you're not experiencing a lot of sensation, then go a little bit deeper. Let's cross the right ankle over the left knee. Right hand comes to the outside of the right knee, left hand comes to the foot, and the ankle is stepped like right at the top of the thigh, knee, closer to the knee. So you're not bringing it all the way up to where the hip is. We want it to be more in like this figure 4. Lift the ribs. And then begin to, moving inside of the natural curves of your spine, lean the ribs forward without shrinking the belly. The right hand at the outside of the right knee, it helps to narrow the knee just a little bit. So the right knee, it's not dropping down. If anything, it's slightly coming up. And widen your butt back into your chair as you take an elevating breath to lift your ribs, reaching the ribs forward to that point where it feels like super sensational. It's not over the edge of sensation where it's hurting, but it could be like a hurt so good, you know those kind of hurt so goods, but only you know that place. So really check in to give yourself the gift of this hip opener. And then lift. You're going to use your right hand to lift your leg, lower it to the ground, and then step your feet wide. Walk your feet a little bit further back from your knees, so they're not stacked under the knees, but it's just a little bit further back so your heels are light and your paw, the front of your foot, is more on the floor. Now I'm just gonna have you lean forward, your knees are bent, you're gonna take both hands to your butt cheek, the fingers are towards the groin, and you're holding the bottom of the butt cheek and pull your butt up. Now sit back and we're gonna do a second set. So your booty is really mounded, your pelvic floor is open, which all supports the health of your hips and your lower back. Okay, right foot, it comes a little bit more towards center, okay? So it's under the right knee. Your left foot crosses over the right thigh. Left hand comes to the outside of your knee and the right hand comes to your foot. So there's a lot of other things that are happening in the bowspring, like the foot, the position of the toes, the action through the ankle, but I'm not gonna give that to you here just because it's too much information for this video. So just know that there's more, there's always more. And let's lift the ribs for a second set and begin to reach your ribs forward. Now just kind of play with the right foot. If it needs to step out a little bit more, it can, but we usually step it underneath the right knee. Keep your belly long, your butt pushing back. The left hand is gently pulling the left knee slightly narrow as you broaden your butt back, opening the hips. Lift and lower, and then just take a moment and open and close your jaw. Let yourself make a really funny face, stick out your tongue. Ah. So as we open the hips, we're also opening the jaw. They very much so mirror each other. Okay, so other leg, cross your right ankle over your left knee. Hold the outside of your right knee with your right hand. Left hand comes to the foot. You're so long and tall through your wavy, curvy spine as you gently, gradually lean the ribs forward. Belly stays long, butt pushes back. Narrow the right knee, and then kind of the right ankle pushes into the left knee pushes, or the thigh pushes into the right ankle. Calming deep breath through your nose, then lift your right leg and lower it to the ground. Great, awesome. How do you feel? Let me know if that is a different hip opener than you're typically used to. Oftentimes, we're opening the hips and collapsing through the body to open the hips. And oftentimes, it's a really passive stretch. So it's more, again, like this. And it just becomes so much more enlivened and sensational and more sustainable to create more openings through your body and healing through your body as you engage the curves and then take it into the hip opener. So share your experience. I would love to hear from you. Drop a comment below for sure. Let me know if you liked it, if you had challenge with it, and just how it felt. Okay, thanks everyone for tuning in. Have a beautiful day.